Thank you once again for tuning on to our weekly webinar series. My name is Shegun Bashon, and you're welcome to Career Next Level podcast. So we've been having different career series where we talk about career development, how to improve ourselves. Because the goal of my channel, which is New Generation Man channel itself, Career Next Level is just part of the things that I do, is to make sure that every man out there or woman have all the information that they need to be the best version of themselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So, in view of that, we're talking about things that have to do with career. So, today we're talking specifically about branding, that is building a personal brand. How can you get started as a career professional? What exactly is branding all about? And, it's something that even I myself I took very seriously this year, trying to carve a niche for myself, start a personal brand, and stand for something. So, because I do not know it all and I'm always seeking to continuously learn, I decided to reach out to some of my colleagues on LinkedIn that I admire their personal brand and what they are doing so that we can have a conversation, about personal brand and how we can position ourselves rightly. So without much delay, I'll introduce Chuddy to the call. Chuddy is someone very passionate about personal branding, and if you go to his LinkedIn, which I'll share his page later, you can also, see the work he's been doing, and you pick one or two things on how you can stand out as a professional and build your personal brand. So without further delay, so Chuddy, you have the floor. Kindly introduce us to the topic and take us through what you
Okay.
have about our personal brand. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Shegu. It's actually an honor to be here, and I feel really, really honored because from what you said about professionals making sure they have all it takes. Not much people. This is actually a powerful idea because this one is more of a purpose because not everybody actually want to guide people on the path of most of the things going around here. But I think you are taking this really good notes. I really appreciate you. I really, really appreciate you. So
Thank you.
I greet everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are streaming from and when you are seeing this, because I know that other people will have to stream this other times. And so Chuddy Chukwuemeka by name, a brand identity and visual expert with over 9 years experience in building brand identities for brands as well as molding products for easy identification, recognition, and building trust through consistency. So, as Mr. Shogu said, nobody knows it all, but in terms of branding, we all have foundational knowledge of branding. So it's not really something far-fetched. So I think I will start from the known to probably the unknown or the known. So branding as a name. Well, today we are going to be learning so many things today. So part of the knowledge we are going to gain from today's live stream is one is what personal branding is, history of personal branding, why every professional needs a personal brand, tools that aid personal branding, requirements to build a strong personal brand, benefits of having personal brand in 2025. Then towards the ending, I kept some beautiful points towards the ending that will benefit. So I encourage us all to stay till the end of this section so that we can get every single part. So towards the ending, we'll have how to monetize your personal brand. We'll have what not to do as a personal brand or with your personal brand. We also have personal branding and finally, I have some final thoughts as well as call to action on few things you can do to start your personal branding. So, are we all following? Am I running towards it? What is my tempo like? So, if we are following, let me see our
Yeah,
reaction. Let me just see our
yeah,
reaction so that let me just
yeah,
see our
following.
reaction. You can send in, okay, I'm seeing that. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, that's beautiful. So, once again, for those who are just joining, I welcome everybody to today's section. So we're going to dive in by starting with branding. Branding. I will start this branding with a small story, which is about my grandma. So growing up, at a point when I went to, I noticed something about my grandma on how she marks her birds, her fowls to be precise. So to make people understand that this is my bird, this is not yours, and as well as neighbors marking their goats, they use some type of materials specifically used by them to mark or to brand their animals. This is not just for their own use, but also to tell people or to send this to give this perception to people that this belongs to me. It is them giving them the idea that I'm branding this to look like this. This belongs to me. So they are not waiting for people to get the knowledge or the opinion that this might be. No, they are not working with people's opinion. They're working with this is mine. So that is actually what branding is more about. Another part of it is branding. You can see branding in a way that if you walk inside a room without saying a word, how do people perceive you? What knowledge of you do people have? That's another part of branding and what we should know about branding. So, without further ado, we'll move into the main topic of today, which is personal branding. The personal branding. So, personal branding, from the historical aspect of it, has been something on for many centuries, but it was up to until 2000, up until 1997 that a man, Tom Peters, coined the phrase, the brand called you. Before then, we do hear of the word image. When people use the word, I'm trying to protect my image, I'm trying to guide my personal image, this and that. We hear politicians use such words and the rest of others. So, but before then, that was the only thing. But after Tom Peters coined the word, the brand called you, the perspective and everything changed. Then, towards the advent of social media, personal branding became more prominent because people started using social media to not just for campaigns or to drop posters, but to tell a bit about themselves or what they want you to see about them. So, till now, personal branding in 2025 became a serious thing. So, definition, what is personal branding? So, personal branding is actually the intentional effort to influence public perception of yourself as a professional by positioning yourself as an authentic authority in your field, elevating your credibility and differentiating yourself from the competitors. So many English. But the main point in this is one is intentional efforts to influence the public's perception. The thing people don't know about personal brand is that whether you like it or not, you are going to be branded. But the difference now is, are you going to let people brand you or are you going to brand yourself? And I think the best way to know about you should be from you. Every other thing people know about you is actually an opinion. Nobody can say, this is who Mr. Shegu is. Everybody will always say a part of Mr. Shegu that they know. I will give an example with the story of blind people having an encounter with an elephant. So this story goes like that five blind people, for the first time in their lives, they had an encounter with an elephant, which you know how they perceive the world through either their sense of smell, their sense of touch, and the rest of them. Because when one vital organ is dead, others sometimes, most times, becomes hyperactive. So from the sense of feel, the first person actually got to touch the leg, and the person described elephants as actually a pillar, strong and rough pillar. While the other person touched the tail, the person described elephants as a hairy animal with soft tail and soft body and the rest. Another person touched the elephant's trunk, explained that. But at the end of the day, they all had a different perception of what an elephant was. But at the end of the day, you will realize that none of them has a totality of what an elephant is, which is the same thing that happens to individuals. Most times, people don't get to know about you. So, what do? You tell about you, you brand yourself in the digital space. So, Jeff Benzo also has a quote which goes like, your brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. It was by Jeff Benzo. So, around 2020 or something, or let me see, around 2023, we started seeing founders come into digital space. Initially, we do hear about them or see them only on magazines or have them when you have events and the rest of them, but they were not consistent online up until lately. When you now check online, you see how founders are more active online. Another funny part is that as Elon Musk is, Elon actually has more followers to himself as a person than his brand. Same with Apple CEO. Most of these people they have followers to themselves as individual than their brand. Another part is when you want to contact a company, when you want to contact a company, most people want to speak with individuals. They want to speak with a person. They don't want to be directed to probably an Autobot that can easily answer their questions and the rest of them. They want a person. They want to feel. They want somebody who can feel. So this brings about why personal branding is very important. So personal branding is important and essential in your marketing because it helps you market yourself. Much like companies market a product, personal brand markets you as an individual. And it also helps you to build recognition, trust, and opportunity within your target audience. When you have a personal brand, each time you drop a post, you don't just drop a post. People don't see your post alone. They see you as an individual. They get a bit of you. And when they compound, people build this trust to know that, oh, this my service or this product is good in this person's hand. An issue about ghosting is when you disappear from the public space, people have this mindset that you've either stopped your or what you are known for or that you are now rusty. Same thing in the world of sports. In the world of sports, when you see a player who is not that consistent in terms of their club side, when it comes to time for national team, people have this opinion that, I don't think this person is going to deliver this and that. So it just happens. So being physically present, being present helps build you as a person. It makes people trust you. So another part is authenticity. There are key aspects of personal branding which everybody needs to focus more on because today's topic is more about how personal brand can benefit a professional. So there are some certain things we are going to jump on it, or rather we are jumping on it, which is the key ways to build a personal brand. But this will be on its own. So I'm going to just talk about a little part of it, what you need. So there are key aspects of personal branding that you need to be very, very careful about. One of them is authenticity. This is a part that you shouldn't play with. A personal brand should genuinely reflect who you are and what you stand for, rather than being fabricated as what you want to be. However, however, while building a personal brand, you can't totally stand on who you are because there are some certain part of you that the public doesn't need to see while building a personal brand. Why there are parts of you that you need to lean on. So you should know the part of you that you need to lean on show that part of you, and be very authentic on that part of you. By authentic, you need to stand out in a way. You don't need to be like every other person. You shouldn't come in a way that I've seen somebody else like this doing it like this, so let me just be like this person. If you check the music industry, you'll realize that over time, the music industry will be saturated with people doing the same type of thing over time. Same way with professionals. In your workplace, over time, people are tired of the normal norms and how things are done. That if they see a new person in the work field who does things differently, that person will draw leadership to themselves. And that's how you get people who are leaders with that title. All of a sudden, in an industry, you realize that there is somebody who does not have any title to themselves, but they are leading people. So, another part of it is uniqueness. Uniqueness, this actually highlights what makes you different from others, emphasizing your unique combination of skills, expertise, and personality. We all have things that makes us unique. And the funny thing there is that there are some things we mostly sweep under the carpet. There are some part of us that we don't want people to see, we don't want people to know. Whereas that part is actually what makes us different, makes us unique. What makes you different makes you unique. You are not like every other person, and you shouldn't be like every other person. But it is important that you and you know the part of you that you are bringing out. So contradiction doesn't come out. So your uniqueness, what part of you, that part of you that makes you unique, nurture. Don't just bring it out. No, nurture it in a way that it makes you stand out. Somehow, I'm going to some personal brands that we have. Initially, I'll use Mark, for instance. Mark Zuckerberg, initially, we all knew or saw him as nerd. This nerd who is mostly about himself, who does not really care about what people think, who is, but recently, have you seen what Mark is doing? One, from his haircut to his attending of some events on or other things like his explorations. He even went on boxing and other things. He started coming out from his enclave to make people see a unique part of him, a thing that makes him different from other founders. And what do you think will happen when this type of thing happens? When things like this happen, even people who don't know, who normally doesn't want your products, once they connect with you on a particular part of once, because we all have some things that connect. The way the world works is connectivity. Like you, Mr. Shegu, for instance, I connected with you on the base of LinkedIn professionalism. That was our connection. You also have that connection with somebody else. Like I can see Mr. Victor online. So like mutuality as well as connectivity, and so that's how. So at times, as a person, your work is not your only uniqueness or the only skill you have. You may have zero tolerance for dirtiness as a professional. You might not know that people notice how you always, as we are talking about uniqueness, you might have OCD. Let me start from that. You might have OCD and you are hiding it. You don't want people to know that you like things being arranged the way and all those. But over time, when people get to discover that whenever they leave the office scattered or something, when they come back, they see that some things are set in some certain type of way. When people get to discover those things, they realize that so this is your handwork, and some other people might see and understand the uniqueness and value. So another part is strategic positioning. We don't have 1 hour is not enough for this, but we're just going to rush it through. So strategic positioning. So I think it is deliberate. You should be deliberate. You should make deliberate efforts to position yourself in the market to gain trust, credibility, and influence. See, as I said in the beginning, one of the 4 words of personal brand is intentionality. Some words to be hearing in this whole talk will be branding, consistency, intentionality, deliberate, trust, credibility, uniqueness. These are like things, the most important part of this. So So that goes. So you have to make deliberate effort to position yourself to gain trust. Then consistent narrative. It involves, in terms of consistent narrative, it involves consistently communicating your message across different platforms, both online and offline, to create a strong and memorable impression. It is very important that you don't come at separate times to bring up separate things to confuse your target audience, both online and offline. If people know you to be like this, just be like that. Probably until people have actually mastered you enough for you to either deviate or something. But if people start to connect with you on a level of this, maintain that for the meantime. I will see just maintain that. So another part is target audience focus. So in terms of target audience, it is good to know who your target audience are. Who do you want to build your personal brand for? What is their problem? What is it that you can do for them? What is it that they want from you? As an example of this, I'm a personal branding. I'm a brand identity expert. I'm into branding, so I work more on branding. So branding, how do you want this to feel? How do you want people to perceive this when they see this? What kind of people do you want to present this to? How do I want to present it in a way that once they see it, it will record, they will resonate with it. So that's once you know your target audience, you'll be able to know some certain things, to know the value to prove to them and the rest of them. There is a part of personal brand that you need to also understand, which is what you start with in your personal brand might not be what you continue with in your personal brand. There is something called niching down. Niching is the okay. Let me use chemistry term. So we have atomization. We have atomization. So we have an element. So the element
Okay, hold on.
has other.
Sorry to
Okay.
cut you. Don't you think that that chemistry may be a bit technical for our
Okay.
audience? Just go with the first example that you were saying. I think we'll be
Okay.
able to relate to that one better. Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. But I will still use the word atom anyway. So I will still use the word atomization. So
Go ahead.
in niching down, niching, atom is the smallest unit of anything. Atom is the smallest unit of anything. The smallest unit. So I guess everybody can relate to that. So that's what niching is. Niching is going down to a particular, that's niching. So most times you might start out as, I'll give an example as an engineer. Niching is choosing a part of engineering where you want to present yourself. Like you might start out to be a cybersecurity expert. Niching is choosing a part of cybersecurity to focus on. So at times, your target audience might help you niche down by telling you. You can also bring out a questionnaire and ask them, what discussion do you like yourself? You might always come out to ask your target audience or your followers, what discussion or what topic do you want us to talk about, to discuss or to have on the show the next time and all this time. So that's it about target audience. So your target audience, you should focus on your target audience and know what and how and what they connect with you on as a professional. So as a professional, know that this is it. So one professional image is also very important. So professional image, it is actually the professional image you project, encompass everything from your life. So I think we've talked about that. We will talk a little about your story. Storytelling has come to be one of the most important ways to convey information in this our world of today. So it is very important to know that people connect with you based on your story. There are some tragic moments you might have had in your life that you feel like, oh, I should hide this. Just as I said about uniqueness, same with your story. Don't hide your story. Sometimes come out, tell your story. Your story might inspire people and might gain you a lot to yourself. So that's story. So your skill and expertise. So the specific knowledge and ability you possess, that's your skill. So in your profession, as a professional, even in that your profession, there are some skills you yourself possess that others don't really know much about or are not as good as you are. Enhance and build on that skill. Don't just do it in the office. No, come out. Come out. Let others know about those skills. Another example I will cite is Toby, the one-time Big Brother Niger housemate. So I think Toby was not just a financial expert. He was not just a banker. He was also a fitness enthusiast. So when Toby was just going to the bank, he was not just going to the bank. He was also, I guess, he was also showing that part of him. Because before you choose you as a housemate, there must be something about you. So Toby did not just settle on his expertise. Skill matters as well. We have skills, we have soft skills, we have other skills, we have those skills, enhance your skill. As I talked about connectivity, for those who were here in the beginning, there must be some level of things or level of ways people can connect with you. So those skills might be those levels. So find a way to enhance your skills. Another part is your value, your value, the principles and beliefs that guide your actions. Every human being should have a value and principle. You should have things you should say yes to and things you cannot say yes to. Those things are very, very important. They're important to have your value. So your values and your principles should guide you. And even as you're becoming a personal brand, there are some certain topics and discussion and others you shouldn't allow close to you. Because the moment you associate yourself with them, one, you will lose credibility. Your target audience will question your authenticity. People will be like, oh, probably this guy was pretending initially to be like this. So he can get to this stage and then show us who he is. Being authentic means you shouldn't change with season. So that's a part where your value, if your personal brand is on health, if you choose your health part as a personal brand, you shouldn't wake up tomorrow and start marketing caffeinated drink or start marketing something else that we all know is actually bad for health, or choose to endorse something else. So that's what's value. So you should associate yourself as well as your brand with things that connects and meet up to your brand to your value standard. So another part is your competence, your ability to accomplish within your field. That competence is also very important for credibility. It should not just be a person who works in a place or who is like this. People should be able to see what you are accomplishing as a person, as an individual. Because I mean, if you are telling me or giving me financial advice or branding advice, I need to see you as a person, how you use brand. I need to see your use of color. If you are a brand identity expert, for your own brand, how do you handle your own brand? That's your competence. We need to see like you are active in so thing, you are doing well in so field. These are your competence. You got an award from this for so doing this. You are so you also need to show those things. Show. Most of these things I'm talking about are things that will help you as a personal brand and as a professional. The next is your behavior and attitude, how you conduct yourself and your approach to your work. If you don't like your work, you can't build a personal brand on that work. And yes, your work might be different from your personal brand.